Sure. Okay. Testing, one, two, three. Good afternoon, everybody. How everybody going this evening? Everybody going good? All right. So we're just doing a little checks here and everything. All right. So everybody ready for this evening? Everybody ready for this evening? Good. All right. I can't check the next mic now.
I know you have been patient. We just awaiting the arrival. So I want to invite you if you need some water to have a little drink and give us about 5 minutes.
Testing, testing. Put your hands together as we welcome.
Thank you. Please remain standing. Please remain standing for a word of prayer.
Heavenly Father, I come before you with a heart full of gratitude. Thank you for everything you have done in my life. I am grateful for your love, guidance, and the countless blessings you provide each day, both big and small. Each day I see your hand at work, guiding and supporting me. Your faithfulness sustains me, and I acknowledge your goodness. Today I bring my worries before you. I recognize that they can weigh heavily on my heart and mind, but I choose to lay them at your feet. Even in difficult times, I recognize your presence. Thank you for being my refuge and strength, helping me through my struggles with your grace. Thank you, Lord, for the promise that I can cast my cares on you. I feel unburdened by my worries as I release them into your capable hands. I trust that you are in control of every situation. Fill me with your peace that surpasses all understanding. Help me to focus on your presence rather than my anxieties, knowing that you will provide for my needs. Your goodness surrounds me, and I am grateful for the beauty of creation, the love of family and friends, and the peace that comes from knowing you. I commit to trusting you in all things. Help me to lean on your understanding rather than my own, knowing that you have a perfect plan for my life. God, I will continue to praise you for everything you are and everything you do. My heart rejoices in your faithfulness. Lord, thank you for the freedom I feel from my worries. I will continue to praise you for your love and grace. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats. Please have your seats. Good evening, each and every one of you. Good evening, all. Thank you very much. We welcome you to this pre-budget consultation of 2025 in preparation for the 2025-2026 budget, better known as the Appropriations Bill. My task here at this juncture is fairly simple. I am going to introduce Councillor Sukhdev Prakash Bharat, who is the councillor for Kaura Paradise, Tacarigua. He's also the chairman of the United National Congress's Constituency Executive, together with his executive members, activists, and area managers. They successfully led a campaign together with the campaign manager of that campaign to have our first elected member of parliament in a long, long time. Please give them all a round of applause. Of course, we also want to quickly welcome the Honorable Minister of Homeland Security and our Member of Parliament for Tunapuna. So without further ado, I wish to call on Councillor Chairman Barrett to give you welcome remarks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kerry Rai, Member of Parliament, Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, Member of the Vice Chairman of the party, United National Congress, Mr. Hamlin Jailal, who is with us. Give him a round of applause. Senator, the Honorable Brian Big. Give him a round of applause, please. Members of the Tunapuna Executive, give them a round of applause, please. You, the constituents of Tunapuna, give yourselves a round of applause. It's my extreme privilege today as chairman of the Tunapuna Executive to address you for a couple of minutes and bring some greetings on behalf of the constituency. We are at Hillview College. It's one of the most scenic schools because we are nestled, as you can see, at the foothills of the northern range. A round of applause. And if you go outside and take a look at the range, and on your left you will see the Honeymoon Park, on the back you will see the northern range. This is my alma mater. I actually was a student of this school, so I know this school very well. We are at Hillview College. Today, it's my honor to lead this budget consultation in terms of chairman and ensuring that the constituents are heard. And I want to say on the very onset that I want to thank the political leader of the United National Congress, and as you know, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, in her vision, in her wisdom, in her intelligence, once again, to ensure not only when we were in opposition, but now that we are in government, to listen to the people. Give her a round of applause for that. I want to thank the political leader. She has always maintained she will listen and lead. And that is what she wants today from every single one of you. For those of you who will be making contributions from Maracas, Santa Margarita, Ozonville, Tunapuna, and Cora Paradise, Tacarigua, and others, I say to you, your voices will not go unheard. We are here to listen to you. We are here so that we can take back to the political leader, the finance minister, Devinjana Tanku, your concerns, and have them included once they are legitimate concerns in the 2025-2026 national budget, which you know will come in a very short space of time. And today as chairman, I'm humbled by the presence of our newly elected Member of Parliament, who has hit the ground running. Give him a round of applause, please. And I'm sure after he addresses you, and at the end of it, you may want to converse with him a little bit. He's always available, always accessible. And so today, we are here to listen to you, to listen to what you have to say, and hopefully to have some of it included in the 25-26 national budget. I thank you, I welcome you, and we are here to listen. Thank you, and God bless every single one of you. As I said, you know, I have the opportunity to work alongside this gentleman in the 2025 general elections. He came in And I think, when he came in, he spun a web around the constituents. They all embraced him and welcomed him. And overwhelmingly, he was elected as a member of parliament for Tunapuna. He has given his insight, as you know, on crime and many other issues facing not only the constituents of Trinidad and Tobago, of Tunapuna, but also every single person in Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm sure when he addresses you today, it will not only be for Tunapuna, but on a national scale. Put your hands together as we welcome Minister, the Honorable Roger Alexander.
All right. Well, let's sit down now. Let me talk. Well, let's sit down. On the seat. Good evening. Let me see if I get this thing right here. Good evening, my Tunapuna constituents. I haven't seen some of you all for a little while. We say this first of all. So let me recognize the Tunapuna executive. We also recognize my councillor, Sabag. I've seen a number of persons here today, so all the protocol observed. It has been a tough couple months for me as the Member of Parliament for Tunapuna. But it has not been a journey that we cannot reach, and we can reach it all together. Today the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, gave us some instructions that we must conduct this pre-budget exercise in our constituency and have persons come out in their numbers, especially those persons who play a significant part in getting Tunapuna constituency up and running again. Let me just jump off the record for a short level. In terms of crime, I know that you all are asking a lot of questions. There are a significant amount of changes to be made, and we're trying to do it gradually. There are some things that we have to change the law for, and some things that we can implement almost immediately. There are some things that we need to do that would inconvenience you, but it's because we have no choice if we intend to treat with this crime situation in a particular way. So all I'm asking for is your support in whatever way. Because if we continue with this behavior, it wouldn't mean well for our country in a whole. And it's from this murder rate that persons, government, police officers, members of government, it's from that murder rate they are judged. So today, we will discuss how we go forward. And I'm asking persons to make good, valuable contributions. Not just personal contributions, contributions that will affect your community where you came from or where you represent. It's not a personal thing here. It's never a personal thing here. We started working together in the Tunapuna constituency. And then something happened. And now we are hearing so much of little tits and tats about all different person's personal behaviors. And to me, it doesn't do anything for our constituency other than divide us daily. However, I am not about that. I'm about providing good governance. I'm here to provide good governance, both for my constituency and for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We also acknowledge Mr. Ramada on his arrival. And other colleagues in the coalition of interests. So as I said before, as we continue to go forward, please make valuable contributions and put aside all this personality that we have from time to time. Parliament is now closed, so my days at the constituency office will be more consistent on a Tuesday. And sometimes, depending on how Tuesday went, I will also give Saturday or Sunday of my time. You will be informed accordingly. Yeah? Because we want to hear from persons. All right? And for those who have issues, it makes no sense that you discuss it among yourselves and nobody here knows about it. How it will be fixed if you discuss it among yourselves. You have to inform us. Mr. Barrett is here, and we hope in the not too distant future, we will not have to play jockey back ride with another party in the Tunapuna constituency to get things done. All right, so as we go forward this evening, we go forward in a positive way, thinking about people, constituency, thinking about areas, how we can help, how we fix things. There are a number of persons here that I can point my finger at and say, listen, they are doing a fantastic job still at the end of the election in some of those communities in Tunapuna. All right? We're still having some little issues, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, Tunapuna must be represented at all times. Yeah? So, having said that, we move forward this evening in a positive way, looking forward for positive results. So when we take back what we have discussed here to our Prime Minister, she must openly say that we did a good job. Yes? So, we go forward. Thank you.
Well, I know you guys could do better. We all could do better than that. Thank you, MP and Minister, for your positivity and for sharing with us not only your vision, but the vision of our esteemed Prime Minister and political leader of the United National Congress. So we move into the exciting segment of this evening's program. We want to invite members of the audience to make presentations, and because of so many people we have here, and we would like everyone, as many persons to participate as possible, we will limit you to 5 minutes. What we would ask you to do is to form a line on the eastern side of the seating area, and then you would approach the mic once the speaker before you have completed. this little slip of paper has one on it. So if you reach 4 minutes, I will just remind you that you have a minute, all right? It's not to hustle anybody, but it's to make sure that as many people as possible can participate. So I'll also ask Alicia to hold a slip of this paper. So we hitting you, you know, we'll attract your attention from both sides. All right.
Before we go any further there, is there anybody in the Tunapuna district, just anybody in the Tunapuna district who, any one of their family has to do cataract surgery in the eyes? Yeah? All right, well, by Tuesday of this week, can we get a name and address for those persons? Now, I don't want to turn away anybody, but I would prefer if persons would come from the Tunapuna constituency. All right?
Thank you, Minister. And can I suggest, Minister, that they or some representative come to the office so we can take a registration of who these nice people are. All right. When you are on the mic, we need to know who you are. So please state clearly your name and the community or area that you're from. So we start the session now. Please. Yeah, it's on. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Rai. Good evening, everyone.
Volume.
Good evening, Minister. Yes. Good evening, Minister, to the head table and all protocols observed. I stand here as a citizen. My name is Nadina Miraj. I live in Tacarigua. I drove from Trin City to Barataria on Sunday. The number of homeless persons on that stretch, the number of young persons who are there, and you could see that they are on drugs, just looking, their eyes wild, some of them just lying down on the street. That is the stark reality of what the government and the government of Trinidad and Tobago inherited. A stark reality that we were told if we speak about it, we are unpatriotic. And I'm here to bring clarity to what the government is facing today, because the minister said it was a hard few months. Minister, it's going to be a hard road even as we go down. In 2008 to 2012, Greece went through one of the worst crises in its history. The economy of Greece declined by 20% in GDP. Greece took 8 years and 3 bailouts, international bailouts, to recover. Let's bring it back home. Do you all know that Trinidad and Tobago saw the same 20% decline in economic activity between 2014 and 2023, according to the CSO data in real terms? Our crisis that we face is equivalent to what Greece went through. They had 3 bailouts. There are journals written about it in the economic journals. We had hundreds of news reports. Who spoke about the crisis here? Who really came to our assistance? Did any one of our CARICOM and Caribbean neighbors pay attention to what we were going through and the fallout? 20% decline in GDP. It's economic depression. That is no longer recession. That is what our government is facing today. And that is what they have to help pull us out of. So our voices here is what is needed to help bring that to fruition. But again, to bring clarity, I'm here to bring clarity because let me tell you, when that budget debate starts, Carrie, how much? When that budget debate starts, we're going to get all the twisted information. As I drove down there, I saw what was Lever Brothers, a manufacturing company that exported from Trinidad, being replaced by Shops of Chanflay, a retail distribution outlet that's most likely going to be using up foreign exchange again. And we have an article being written in the newspaper having a headline, "Is Kamala Weaponizing Forex?" The article, and none of the economists, I'm an economist by the way, none of the analysts came out and spoke in defense of the small businesses that were denied. That is the weaponization that we have to fix. So moving forward, where is the Fair Trading Commission in terms of all the conglomerates and cartelization? Because Minister, I think you need to set your anti-kidnapping squad out and find the Fair Trading Commission, not only with respect to the cartelization and the monopolization, but with respect to the use of foreign exchange. That is not fair what is happening today, right? So the second thing is we need to develop a domestic engine of growth. I'm going to give a quick example. Think of we have Cora farmers, and using NFM that has already export markets that to package the products that are coming out from our local farmers so they don't bear certain risks, because farming and MSMEs are high-risk ventures. But what we need are to use those state-owned enterprises as sharing platforms to reduce risk and to get our products out there. You don't have to do it, and you don't have
Nadine, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
Please remember, this is a pre-budget consultation, so we want to hear your ideas of what should be included in the budget, right? So, sir, please give us your name and the area you're from.
Okay, hello. First to begin with,
Come closer to the mic.
Honorable Minister of Homeland Security and MP for Tunapuna, Mr. Roger Alexander, our beloved Councillor, Mr. Prakash Bharat, and our host, Dr. Kerry Rai, distinguished guests and the community at large. I am Mark Yuxi. I am here in the capacity of the PRO of the Cora Valley Village Council. Right? I'm also here with my small contingent of the executive team, and we came here tonight to speak about a key problem we are having in our community, which is infrastructure. Right? The Cora community continues to face a range of pressing infrastructure challenges that hinder daily life, public safety, and community development. Addressing these issues require immediate attention and sustained long-term investment. I'm not sure how much of you all are aware that the Cora Royal Road doesn't really just serve for the traversing of our residents, but we also have a crucial agriculture sector that provides food and sustainability for the larger facet of Trinidad and Tobago, right? They utilize the road as well. We have the Cora Valley River, which is, I'm sure all of you all know about that recreational side there, that we have estimated thousands of people per week traversing this road to use that facility, right? So, the key access road in Cora are collapsing or deteriorating rapidly, creating hazardous conditions for both motorists and pedestrians. The absence of malfunctioning streetlights in several areas further compound these safety risks, increasing vulnerability to accidents and crime, especially at night. Right? Equally urgent is the community's inconsistent access to clean pipe-borne water. Many households remain without reliable water supply, which significantly impacts daily living to hygiene and public safety. Due to the infrastructure of our road, it directly affects our public transportation system in terms of the PTSC bus and the school bus service. Reliable transportation is critical for ensuring mobility and access to essential services. Quora also lacks a dependable public bus service because of the road, because of how the road has dilapidated. There are several parts of the road where you can actually see it's caved in, one landslide away from having no access to the rest of the nation. All right, so I'd like to touch on our recreational infrastructure as well, because holistically I'm talking about infrastructure for our community. Right? To support healthy lifestyles and enhance community engagement, there is a clear need for recreational development. We propose the construction of a modern multi-purpose sporting facility to serve as a hub for youth and community events. The current playground also requires urgent renovation to make it safe, inclusive, and functional for our children. Last topic I want to touch on is our community center expansion. The existing community center, while viable, no longer meets the evolving needs of residents. We propose its expansion and modernization to include digital learning rooms, meeting halls, and recreational spaces tailored to both youth and senior citizens. This upgraded facility will serve as a critical hub for education, social support, and civic activities. Right? In conclusion, the Quora community urges the relevant authorities to prioritize these infrastructural needs through coordinated planning and meaningful investment. We can ensure a safer, healthier, and more connected environment for all residents. Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for coming.
Thank you very much. Please state your name and the area you're from as well.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeremiah Mathura and I am from El Dorado. Good evening to MP Raja Alexander, the councillor, former MP for St. Augustine, Prakash Ramada. I first want to congratulate the Honorable Minister on winning this seat. This is a difficult seat to win and I'm happy that you've won this seat. Right, so my contribution focuses on three main pillars: education, energy and energy industries, and crime. Three short points. I am a former student at this prestigious institution, Hillview College, a former national scholarship winner. And I would say, from my assessment of the restructuring of the program by the previous administration, where they reduced the number of scholarships and implemented the bursaries, I would like to propose to the government to go back to the status quo, which is increasing the scholarships. And because the government of yesterday created a situation where a lot of persons were unable to go abroad and study and get back skills. Now we have the concern about money not being paid back to the government. Well, just have a more efficient system, but do not tell children you cannot study abroad because of whatever reason, because you cannot manage a system properly, right? And I think the UNC government, which expanded scholarships, I think they could assist in that regard, right? And consider the bursaries as well. The second thing with the education is GATE. Postgrad students have it very difficult, where we are now mandated to work in order for us to continue postgraduate studies. because we don't have access to GATE for postgraduate funding or for a second degree, right? I don't think I need to explain the difficulties with that, right? But in order for us to develop a nation through education, we need to take it seriously. We can't go backward. We have to go forward. To crime. Now, don't be deceived by my small stature and size. I have spoken to a lot of persons in the community. I speak to anybody who come my way, regardless of the money you make, regardless of your race, creed, and ethnicity. And a lot of persons tell me, confide in me that they have gone into a series of depression. And I know depression, some people when they go in depression, they go into crime. I think young persons like myself, persons who go on university, all of us have a part to play in reducing crime in this country. Mentorship. We don't need to put all this money, I mean, yes, body cameras, technology are important, but mentorship is key. Right? And not mentorship on a political stance where you give people $20,000 to mentor. No. Mentorship comes holistically from the individual. I said what I said. The third thing is energy I want to talk about. And I want to spend a little bit more time. So I am currently in Point Lisas. I'm based in Point Lisas, right? And the main concern that we have, that we want to see action in this budget, or at least addressed in this budget, is the government's plans, in terms of course, the refinery, but the government's plans with natural gas. We know the previous administration talked a lot about the dragon gas deal, right? We want to know, in the budget, in the presentation by the finance minister, what is the state of the revenue and which downstream industries will be prioritized most? We know the main downstream industries will be methanol, ammonia, and LNG, right? So if it's possible where we could get a pictorial representation of the projected revenue, the gas that NJC produces, who gets more, what those kind of things, that information will be important because Point Lisas, that's our bread and butter, right? So again, thank you for your indulgence. And to keep up the good work to our very first Homeland Security Minister. And I hope you're not the last one.
Thank you very much, sir. Please.
Blessed good afternoon to one and all. Blessed good afternoon to the wonderful people. It gives me the profound
Please give us your name.
Sure, you'll get my name. You will get my name. I'm getting there. It gives me the profound gratitude and honor and privilege to say congratulations and thanks to a wonderful human being, the Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, for granting us this privilege for our voices to be heard. And to my goodly brother, Alexander the Great, a man who names shall last forevermore. And to all the guests, especially my good friend and my brother, Mr. Prakash Ramada, and to my other good brother, power to the people. My name is Curtis Anthony O'Brady. Even though I'm being hailed from the East, which is Rima, we are here to commit an exercise which is a pre-budget consultation, and I'm here just to offer my two little pieces. Arima, unfortunately, we have a member of parliament who has done nothing for Arima in its entirety. Arima, since 1888, has been graced by Her Majesty, the Queen, and has been granted the opportunity and the privilege of becoming the first royal borough chartered in the Western Hemisphere. And today, the only time we had felt any sense of being and owning and gratitude is in 2010, 2015 under the leadership of Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, SCPM. Ladies and gentlemen, I propose that under your stewardship, good sir, that we have not just only community policing, but you look into raising the age limits of the security forces, which is the army, so that they can play a part or be a part of the fight against crime. Because we need more boots on the ground, we need more community policing, we need to make sure and bring the fight to the criminals. We need to tell them that Trinidad and Tobago is not for you, because the only thing you could get is the AN, just like the PNM. Ladies and gentlemen, I also would like very much to propose that ARIMA and the East-West Corridor becomes an economical hub in order to create opportunities to remove our young minds, our young people, from a life of crime and criminality. I will also like to propose that, because this is something that has been last long in the minds of people, because people have been for far too long living in places for generations upon generations upon generations and spending money, paying taxes, and they are not owners of their home. I suggest that the government look into reintroducing the land tenureship in order for people to own their certificate of comfort for land, so that we could give the people the real love, unity, and appreciation, so that they can become owners of their own home. Safety and security is a must. We must be safe and secure. We must emancipate ourselves from the evil which is the PNM. Because even though they're not in office, we still have a few snakeheads rising. And with all of that, my friend, because you wanted to know my name, I am the Sir Curtis Anthony O'Brady, Esquire, of course. And to the Honorable Prime Minister, may God bless you. And to the wonderful people of Trinidad and Tobago, may God bless you. And to my good friend, Alexander the Great, the people shall never forget your name, my brother. May God bless you. Mr. Chair, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, sir. You beg to move.
Good evening. It is quite difficult following those footsteps, but I will try my best. Thank you. My name is Malini Maraj. I'm from Backstreet, Tunapuna, but I'm also from the Department of Economics at UWI St. Augustine. I am here to commend, firstly, the efforts by the administration, and I overheard Senator Beg did say that the political leader informed all representatives that this is about the people. And certainly it is about time that the national budget be recognized as a national budget and not a government's budget. So I would like to commend this initiative, and I hope it follows through, that the representation takes into consideration all contributions made. I hope especially that the platform in which these contributions are being made be expanded, so that there is some form of online platforms, so that other members of public can make written contributions, and also members of the public who are particularly vulnerable and are unable to attend such meetings can also be captured, particularly if we are speaking about crime. Youth and unemployed youth in particular can be treated with in a special form of consultation. I did hear that some members also mentioned the role of community centers, and within the time frame that I have, I would like to expand on that particular contributing, identifying that no community center should go empty and underutilized at any point in time. our community centers need to be reformed, revitalized, and restructured, and should be self-financing income generators that can actually address many cross-cutting issues, from poverty to crime to even food security at certain levels. So our community centers can actually be hubs in which they can provide classes for children. They can be utilizing retired individuals within the community to provide training. And for the youths who tend to be on the blocks doing little to nothing, they can be targets of those training. We are in the period where, you know, we have much to say about the CPEP program, but acknowledging the fact that the CPEP program was never meant to be a career for any person, our community centers can be utilized as training so that those persons who are involved in what was the CPEP program can obtain sustainable means of earning training so that their avenues for generating income is not just dependent on these types of CPEP programs and work. So we can utilize our already existing community centers to maximize their potential and not really become dependent on handouts and government interventions, and therefore relegate ourselves and those vulnerable populations to just remaining poor and dependent. So that is just a main contribution I think we can look at as a way in engaging our community in developing ourselves with support from the government rather than relying on the government continuously. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good evening. My name is Cheryl-Ann Francie. I am the interim president of Paradise Gardens, which is located Upper Richard Street in Tacarigua. Paradise Gardens consists of approximately 150 households, and I keep letting people know when we have our meetings that we are an aging community, and we need, on the last occasion that I attended a meeting here, I spoke of the abuse of the elderly. And if you look around, you see a whole lot more senior persons amongst us. And if some form of legislation can be put in place to help the seniors in our society, you know, that would be something welcome. Secondly, we experience a lot of crime in our neighborhood. We have been trying for a number of years, and in recent times, maybe more than a year now, we have been trying to get persons together to have our own security mobile patrols. And it is quite a challenge for us. However, we do have the majority of our personnel, or residents, sorry, in our neighborhood who have like air horns. And yet still they don't use it as they should, because you would hear persons getting their vehicles robbed. I have two neighbors of mine who are in the audience here.
Can you get closer to the mic?
Sorry. I have two neighbors in the audience here, and one of them, his brother just last week got his vehicle stolen. It was pushed down the street, pushed down the hill, and then went into a little cul-de-sac where they did what they had to do. In addition, week before, we had one lady who was carjacked at gunpoint. It was on the news. She was carjacked on her, she came in from Eddie Hart grounds, and as she turned into her street, which is a cul-de-sac, they drove in behind her, and that was it. But I understand they found her vehicle about a couple hours after, because thank God we have one or two officers on our group chat which we have approximately 211 persons on our security group chat. The information went out and, he communicates with us. I would leave now with that, but we would present in full a document, a full written document to both minister and the councillor. We'll have all this in full, a full comprehensive document that we would present so that we don't have to, be limited where time is concerned. Okay,
Thank you very much.
Good evening. I am Neil Fraser from Paradise Gardens.
Come closer to the mic.
Honorable Minister, the head table, distinguished guests. The residents of Paradise Gardens face a number of challenges. And to this end, a Paradise Gardens Residents Association was formed or re-established recently. Through the hard work of this association, headed by the interim president, Cheryl Ann Francis, a number of issues have been able to resolve, and we continue to try to do that. We'd like to particularly thank Councillor Barath. He has been extremely helpful in getting our issues resolved. The biggest issue that I'm sure you will hear from everyone tonight is crime. To that end, Paradise Gardens has partnered with the Aruka Police and basically the community police program. They have been very much involved in our neighborhood watch group, and we thank them for their support, particularly Inspector Pierre, Sergeant Singh, and Corporal Bidesi in particular, who is always there for the support. So you often hear everybody complain about what's wrong. I would like to say thank you to the TTPS for the community program, and I encourage that expansion throughout. What I would like to see is that the police station is given the resources necessary to increase its presence in all areas under its protection. We would like to see more patrols, particularly at night, which is when it's very vulnerable. Health. Our biggest problem with health, I think, is when you have to access severe support. And I use, for example, the Eric Williams Medical Center. We can fully understand that when you go into that situation, it must be prioritized to put more severe cases ahead of less severe cases. But what is experienced now is unacceptable. You would be there for hours and hours and hours without even being checked or attended to. So how could you be screened if you're just left there for hours and hours? I would really like to see some improvement, whether it's more resources, better management. We'd really love to see an improved situation at all the health centers where people can at least be heard and screened. And if you're left to wait because it's not that critical, at least you know your situation. The second thing with health is that, again, it may be the sheer volume. We don't know because we don't get reports or statistics. But it takes way too long for people to access what is often life-threatening support in terms of surgery. For instance, if you have to do surgery to remove a cancer tumor, having to wait months before that can happen could be the difference between life and death and good quality of life. So if something can be put in place that, again, through more resources, management of the resources, management being a key function, then that's an area we'd like to see addressed. Traffic management is an issue for our community because what you have is that people from further east understandably try to avoid the congestion on the Eastern Main Road. So they form an alternative route north of the main road and come right down into Paradise. And then it could take us over an hour to travel the few blocks just to get to the Eastern Main Road. We have put forward some time ago a proposal to build a bridge over the Coral River so that westbound traffic could actually go further past the congestion that is met at the junction of Orange Grove. Another key issue that I would like to raise, forgive me, is constitution reform. A number of initiatives will only be able to take place if we change the structure of governance. We've had 5, I think, or 6 now, sessions to hear what the public is calling for, and you hear the same things over and over and over. We would really like to see that come to pass at last. People are calling for a truly independent president with greater supervisory powers, who could provide true independent senators, as recently alluded to by the Honorable Prime Minister, full-time MPs rather than part-time, you know, a proper working judiciary with
Sir,
accountability.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but
Time is
I have to
up.
say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hold on. Yeah, Mr. Fraser, we want you on this side, please. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, esteemed minister. My name is Sarana Rai. I am a Tunapuna constituent, and I am here on behalf of all animal advocates. I thank you for the opportunity to speak on an issue that I think has been overlooked for far too long. Animal welfare is not a peripheral concern. It is a reflection of our values, our humanity, and the type of society that we strive to build. There's a saying that goes, you can judge a country by the way it treats its animals. And in that case, I think Trinidad and Tobago would be judged very poorly. It is time to match compassion with action. And I would like to briefly speak, very briefly, 5 points that I believe would alleviate the animal welfare crisis in our country. Number 1 is strengthening legislation and enforcement against animal abuse. Our laws must no longer serve as weak guidelines. They must become shields. We have legislation in place, but it is not enforced. How can it be considered acceptable that when a report is made to the police on animal abuse, there is little to no attention, no follow-up, no investigation? The animal is left to suffer while the offender remains unaccountable. Meaningful consequences for offenders are not optional, they are essential. And the police must be equipped with the necessary resources to tackle these various offenses. 2, implementing nationwide spay and neuter programs. If you truly pay attention to the amount of strays that you see on a daily basis, you would be shocked at just how many you can count. A humane and fiscally responsible solution lies in government-funded spay and neuter programs to control the overpopulation problem. By supporting nationwide partnerships with veterinary clinics to make these procedures more affordable and accessible, government can play a pivotal role in improving animal welfare outcomes. Euthanizing innocent strays should never be considered an option. 3, establishing government-funded animal shelters and rescue facilities. We really need to stop relying on overburdened volunteers and underfunded NGOs to carry out what should be a core public service. We have 2 shelters here, TTSPCA Port of Spain and TTSPCA Tobago. I shouldn't have to say that this is grossly inadequate and unsustainable for the magnitude of the animal crisis in this country. We propose the establishment of state-supported, professionally managed animal shelters and rescue centers. These facilities will not only provide sanctuary for animals that have been neglected, abused, abandoned, but would serve as hubs for adoption, education, and community outreach. 4, licensing and education for responsible pet ownership. Owning a pet is not a right, it's a privilege. We propose the introduction of a mandatory licensing and registration system for pet ownership ensuring that individuals understand and are prepared for the lifelong care of an animal and not just dump them somewhere because their circumstances change. We must launch comprehensive national public education campaigns that emphasize responsible pet ownership, because education is a cornerstone of prevention and the first step in tackling any issue. And lastly, number 5, reforming firework legislation. I must speak on an issue that causes immense suffering every single year. For animals, these deafening explosions are not entertainment, they are pure terror. So many animals, including pets and wildlife, are lost and killed because of fireworks. The evidence lies on our roadways and highways that are scattered with the remains of innocent animals after every Independence Day, every Diwali, every New Year. Legislate the use of noiseless fireworks. Let us preserve our celebrations, but not at the expense of innocent lives. Tradition and compassion can coexist if we are willing to lead the change. I urge this body to not just consider the financial implications of these proposals, but the moral imperative behind them. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening to the head of the table. My ex-team, Councillor, my ex-team, Homeland Secretary. I see my comrade Prakash is in here. Tonight, I'm going to take a topic that is dear to my heart because I have been in this thing for so many years. I'm going to talk about agriculture. Agriculture is the bastard child of Trinidad and Tobago budget. Receiving the least allocation of all the ministries for several decades. If the United National Congress government is serious about food security, we must begin the recovery from now, not later. Not 1% of the budget will do. Agriculture needs $5 to $6 billion to really start agriculture now. The Ministry of Rural Development is key in partnering in the process of agriculture development and food security because they go hand in hand because these communities, they could do access road and things. Food relief irrigation go hand in hand. Every year, millions of dollars are lost to flooding. Retention pods needed, irrigation needed. My second point, crop insurance. We always say crop insurance, we want crop insurance instead of this old thing we have. Why we say crop insurance is that you won't have to be waiting 5 and 6 years to get something. And what we're saying is that if we really put legislation in place and put the crop insurance and let all farmers put your jeeps and tractors into that insurance and put the Ministry of Agriculture vehicles into the insurance, so when the time comes you get flooded, that same money will be coming back to the farmers. These items have been on the agenda for decades, but nada. We want a budget allocation. 2, closely related global issue, climate change, which is upon us. Our farmers have been feeling the changes firsthand. Crop failures, proliferation of pests and diseases, rainfall. The Ministry of Agriculture, in close collaboration with the Faculty of Agriculture, UWI, must oversee the research, data collection, scientific study, diagnose and recommend application of appropriate technology. In this regard, the Extension Division of the Ministry of Agriculture has to be reorganized and restaffed with expertly trained extension personnel working in the field with the farmers, not now as how they have it. Extension officers, when a farmer now have to go into the office and deal with the farmers, and where they should be outside doing with the farmers, because all the Caribbean and chemicals and Augustine chemicals, they have agronomists coming out in the field because they're selling the chemicals. And we have to just spend money to go and buy everything. So if we get that kind of position, it will be benefit for Trinidad and Tobago. Youth in agriculture, training in production. It got billions. You want training, you want land tenure, and you want ADB to help them out. Come in, John, just now. The marketing system for domestic food production is in a mess. No youth going into the food production is going through that what we farmers are going through now. The Norris Generine Farmers Market, wholesale market, is overrun with sellers of imported food and middlemen. 5. Money has to be allocated to the Ministry of Agriculture for the age-old problems of land tenure security. Last but least, Chime is a national focus. I have one more. Continue the land distribution project that began under the United National Government from 2010 and was aborted under the PNM. Give proper leases, settle existing farmers. The NFFA, what I am part of, was part of that. Major land reform programs is necessary. What about the 2 acres Caroni parcels distributed to former Caroni workers? Marketing. The biggest market for local produce is not Namdefco. It's between the lanes where you see them fellas that's walking cars and asking you buy this and buy that. Extension and science. Extension services are almost non-existent. The modern farmer facing challenges due to changing technologies. Thank you. And I can't say now that all the time we have been giving out these kind of budget year after year, but we was not in government. Now we are in government. I hope something come out of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Haywood. Just 1 minute. Those of you who have scripts, if you could lend us the scripts, or if not, and you want to prepare a script, please drop it off at our office at the corner of Green Street and El Dorado Road, right on the road here, right? So please feel free to drop off your script, or if you can leave what you have here tonight, you can kindly leave it with us. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, Mr. Honorable Minister, Mr. Roger Alexander, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Kendall Dufour. I'm a resident of Macano Street, St. Augustine, an employee of the NCRHA. The person who talked about the NCRHA earlier, Eric Williams, and also a business interpreter. I'm here to briefly highlight some pressing infrastructure issues affecting our communities in Tunapuna, St. Augustine, and Maracas, St. Joseph. Specifically, more road conditions, inadequate drainage, and persistent flooding. First, our roads have deteriorated significantly, especially after repair works carried out by WASA. The use of crushed stone as a temporary fix has become the new norm, but it is clearly inadequate. Rain and traffic quickly erodes these patches, leading to large potholes, the damaged vehicles, slow traffic, and increased congestion, particularly during peak hours. I recommend regular road audits and timely permanent repair works to address these ongoing issues more effectively. Secondly, the issue of flooding, especially along the eastern main road to Tunapuna, St. Augustine, has persisted for decades. Inadequate drainage and poor maintenance are major contributors. I have never personally seen consistent efforts by the regional corporation to clear these manholes, drains, debris, especially before heavy rains. I urge that routine maintenance and the silting of these drain systems be prioritized, Additionally, we should look towards widening rapids, improving runoff infrastructure to help manage water flow more efficiently. Lastly, in my neighborhood, Makana Street, there is no proper drainage for surface or waterways. Water from houses runs freely onto the roadway, leaving a quarter of the street constantly wet, which has led to moss buildup and slippery, unsafe conditions. I strongly recommend the construction of a box drain to solve this issue and improve health and safety for residents. In conclusion, these issues affect not only our quality of life, but also hinder business activity and community development. Addressing will bring lasting benefits to both residents and local economy. Thank you for your time. I look forward to working together towards meaningful improvements.
Thank you very much, sir.
Pleasant good night. My name is Charmin Mahabir and I am from Maracas, Santa Margarita. I want to say a pleasant good night to our Member of Parliament, Mr. Roger Alexander, our Councillor, Mr. Sukhdev Prakash Bharat, and all other protocol observed. I am here tonight to talk about pension grants and the home visit to the elderly and infirm. Our senior citizens are delayed in their pension rates, rise cost of living, eroding purchasing, and my recommendation to that is increase senior citizen pension to match inflation and living expenses. Simplify the application to renewal process digitally and in person. Secondly, disability and public assistance grant. The issue is whenever you go, your process time for new applicants take very long, a lack of updated need of assessment, so it takes long to get back any news when you go to those institutions, insufficient funding to cover special need, example, home modification, medical equipment. My recommendation is increase the monthly amount for disability and public assistance grant. Introduce emergency processing for critical applicants, implement regular field evaluation to ensure funds are appropriately targeted. Provide supplemental grant for those with severe disability and chronic illness. And this one is dear to my heart. Home visit and community-based to the elderly that needs all the care. Many elderly persons are housebound and lack of family support. Health and social needs often go unmet due to no consistent outreach, limited staff and transportation. Health social services. My recommendation to that is expand the geriatric adolescent partnership program, that's GAP, to include more trained caregivers. Allocate budget for routine home visit through district health visitors and community health workers through a network. Provide mobile medical and social services unit for remote and high need areas. This one is elderly abuse protection and reporting mechanism. The issue is most of the time when elderly get abused, it's undocumented. So we have a lack of accessible and anonymous reporting channel. So what I recommend is that we establish a 24/7 elder abuse hotline or online. Include elder protection service under the remit of the Ministry of Social Development and Family Service with dedicated funding. Number 5, housing assistance and home adaptation. Many elderly lived in unsafe and poor adapted homes. No dedicated grant for aging in place, needs like ramps and grabs. Recommendation, introduce a home modification grant for elderly and infirm individual to improve. Digital and literacy for the elderly. Seniors are excluded from digital service, included health, appointment grant, update, and banking. So what I recommend is include funding in the budget for senior digital literacy training in the community. So we can have people go to the elderly home and train them how to use their tablet, their phone, their computer, and so on. and provide affordable or subsidized smartphone tablet and simplifies the service for portal for seniors. I thank you so much, and may God continue to richly bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
I would like to say a pleasant good night to Roger Alexander and Prakash Bharat and to everyone else. I would like my topic is about mental health.
Can we get your name, please?
My name is Viulan Diamond from Marcus and Joseph, Okono Road, Bellevue Hill. My topic is about mental health. It have plenty youths are dealing with mental health, which I deal with it in the past couple years. And for the past couple years that I see going on, I've seen plenty youths committing suicide. We need to have more counselors in the areas. They put like the health centers, the community centers, use those places to get counselors to counsel people at that point in time. If you feel depressed, you have someone you can speak to. I myself just go through it, and I just still counsel people who going through depression. And that is my topic I would like the Prime Minister to look into in the budget. Thank you
very much. Real good time management.
A pleasant. A pleasant good night to the Honorable Roger Alexander. I see Mr. Prakash Ramada in the house tonight. Nice to have you. And the Senator Brian Big. And I must say, a pleasant good night to
May we
the
have your name,
executives.
please? May we have your name? Your name and the area?
I'll give it here after. And the executives of the Tunapuna people, pleasant good night to you. My name is Princess Lee Keith, and I am in the St. Joseph area. Okay. Tonight, I would just like to speak about health, focusing on our young professionals, also on the elderly. Oh, my phone just went down. Hold on. I'm sorry, I just lost a minute.
Just speak from your heart.
Okay, I will just speak from my heart, believe you me. I have a bit of a problem, and I feel very sad also for parents who have spent a tremendous amount of financial in order for their children to be professional. Now, even for the government who have sent our citizens abroad to study. Some of them have worked abroad after they have graduated. Upon their return to Trinidad and Tobago, they have applied for employment in fulfilling their obligation of giving back to their country. Many of them have waited over a year without receiving employment. They then decide to recruit abroad. And they have embraced the employment. And there it is. Our young professionals have left our country to serve another country. I consider that a brain drain on taxpayers' money, where our people went abroad. Then, For the ones who have been recruited in Trinidad, received a job, they get a 1 month or a 2-month contract. Ridiculous. CPEP doing much better than our young doctors. This is so ridiculous. Now, I am pleading to the government at this time with their budget that they employ more of our young doctors, because these people are talented, they are very good, and I can tell you, we have very good doctors in this country. I've been there. I've been served there. These nurses and doctors, they work diligently, and they are entitled, if not a pay raise, they're entitled to at least be gainfully employed. Now, another thing is for our elderly people. You get to the hospital to make an appointment and you end up waiting 4 months, 6 months in cardiology to get an appointment. Not only that, simple tests as CT scans and so on, you have to wait sometimes 2 years for an appointment for a test. And I'm telling you this, unfortunately, sometimes when they are there after 2 years waiting, the machine broke down. So they have to wait for another appointment. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to tell you about an incident in 2017. Someone had intestinal surgery in 2017. In January 2018, she had an appointment to reverse. This is 7 years later, she's still waiting. 3 weeks ago, she noticed she's having some bleeding. When she went to the doctor, she is diagnosed with stage 2 cancer. We have to do better because we have the doctors. And we must do better as far as these elderlies and the young professionals. Can you imagine? You have a young doctor in your house and you still have to go and pick them up from work because of a 2-month contract. The bank is not even giving them a loan to buy a car so they can get to work. And these parents have to get out of the house 10, 11 o'clock at night to pick up their children. It's unfortunate. I just want to say at this time, may we all try to live for the sake of others, especially for the people who are in need. We will build a better health society by us reaching out to our young people and our elderly people. May God continue to bless our Prime Minister and her government. I think thus far they are doing excellent.
Thank you, thank you. Next. We have a duet.
Good evening, everyone. When Ozanville, Tunapuna come, they come in pairs.
Okay.
So I want to say a special good afternoon to the MP.
He stepped outside.
Okay.
So please proceed.
So special good afternoon to Mr. Prakash Bharat, and a special good afternoon to the leader of the Congress of the People, not being political, but I have to recognize him for who he is, Mr. Prakash Ramada, and the DPL, Mr. Imran Ali. I am Alicia Sharp, and I'm a former candidate for local government under the Congress of the People. And we have always worked with the United National Congress. So I'm feeling very proud to come this evening that is why we decided to come up. She has something to say about the area. So I would give her space to say what she has to say, and then I would say what I have to say about the area.
Still have 5 minutes, huh?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kai Johnson from Upper First Race Mengoro, Tunapuna. What I would like to say, we need more jobs, more training for the youths in our community. I think not enough being done for the youths on first race, upper first race. We need more help getting the youth out with job training, work position, and not be neglecting certain jobs we go to because of the stigma, hot zone, we're not getting to reach where we're supposed to reach.
Come closer to the mic, please. Come closer.
Right? I'm a little bit nervous. All right. So, I'm here asking kindly to get more assistance program for our youth, brothers, sisters, or elderly who needs house repairs. We have our situation with lights. For 3 months now, we have no lights in our main area, and we would like to get that done, and some leakage that the people higher up could get the water. Right? Basically, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. You have 2 minutes.
Because she took 2 minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
not a
2
problem.
minutes.
Good evening again to everyone. So I have 3 top concerns that I would like to see when the money is allocated in September in the budget. I would like to see some of that money trickle in Tunapuna. And one of the places I would like to see it trickle under is youths. I heard the Prime Minister saying that she's putting a little extra in youth development. And I think we should capitalize on that. And all the community groups that are here this afternoon, you guys need to come together and bring forward the youths. I see adults, I see middle class, older people, but I haven't seen any group inside here that is representing the youths. And I think that is something that needs to be 35. I don't mean to call nobody old, but you know, youths 35 and under, that's the youth package. So I'm looking forward to see Tunapuna be a part of that youth development that the Prime Minister said she wants to put extra funds in. And one of the main projects I would like to see develop in Tunapuna again, it's the youth camp. I would love to see the Tunapuna youth camp come back. Location, I don't know. That is for the MP to find out. But I would love to see that. I will also love to see some economic empowerment for the single women. Because as the young lady said, there are a lot of single women, many because of crime, the boyfriend or the child mother gone, and these women are by themselves. So there needs to be a support system in Tunapuna for single women, especially those who lost their child father also due to gun violence. That's my contribution. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Good night to everyone. I am Ashwa Shakti Maharaj. I am the president of the Adi Shakti Bhawan Temple, also the secretary of the St. Augustine Hindu community, also a member of many temples in this country. Tonight, I would like to say a very special hello to my Prime Minister, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa. I think she is the queen of this country because you all will know our queen passed away in England. Also to our Honorable Minister, Mr. Roger Alexander, Mr. Prakash, our Councillor, also Mr. Prakash Ramadar, not forgetting our Senator Brian Baig, and also Mr. Jailal, and not forgetting our constituency members of Tunapuna. Today, I would like to elaborate on some serious situation in Santa Margarita Circular Road, St. Augustine. Up to Sunday gone, we had a bandit there at 2 a.m. And what saved those people was the dogs. So Mr. Alexander, I would like you to actually deal with this matter at the moment. Santa Margarita is getting very, how should I say, it's such a great area, but at this point, too much bandits around. My second point I would like to speak about is to elaborate on single mothers in our country. When you're passing by, you would see mothers in the grocery, and the first thing they will tell the child, I cannot afford the snacks. And you as an individual pushing a trolley, you would want to know what is happening. So I would like our Prime Minister to elaborate and to give our single mothers a little more cash so that they can carry out their everyday duties. Secondly, I would like to elaborate on the vagrant that we are seeing. When you work in the hospital and you see how many people in that hospital striving for life, and our vagrant is lying down there with good health because they are very strong, what do we do for them? We cannot look at them as they are nobody. We must take some sort of, care for these people. My third point is when you look at the Tunapuna Social Welfare Office, and you're walking down there every morning, you're seeing the elders sitting down there from probably 6 until. Come on. Our Prime Minister had given a grant for when you die, you have $7,000 to bury the dead. But when you go to Tunapuna and you're telling them, I need the grant, you have to sign up so many papers and you have to go through customs to get that grant in order to bury your dead when you have a dead in your hand. It is not very easy. I would like our Prime Minister to do something about agriculture and food prices, because you're going by the doctor and the doctor will tell you you have to get several tablets. But if you don't eat good, the tablet eats you inside. So our food prices, we need to do something about that. And to our Prime Minister, I urge you that we have a borough in San Fernando. I urge you and ask you if our constituency in Tunapuna can become a borough. My last point, I would like to say that the Children's Hospital in Couva should be named under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. To my Honorable Minister, sir, when I look at social media, a lot of criticism, but I will tell you something today. You will reach very far. Very, very far. You know why? We fought for this area. We have you here, not for your build, not for your looks, but we know that stealing a dime is a crime. Thank you. And I thank our Prime Minister for giving us this opportunity tonight. And I want to say to my members here, Tunapuna will become a borough in days to come, if not days, but years. But we have to have patience. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are waiting to speak, because of certain constraints in terms of the coverage, we have to reduce the time to 2.5 minutes. So please be on point in terms of your recommendations for the budget.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Manohar Singh. I'm from Greenville Park in Arima. Good night to the Honorable Minister, Mr. Roger Alexander, Mr. Bharat, the Honorable Mr. Big, Mr. Prakash, and all protocol observed, the media there also. We are having a serious problem for a number of years with the noise pollution, right? And we have made multiple reports to the police. And when the police is coming, the perpetrators take off these noises, And sometimes when the police come, they take it off. When the police go and they put it back. And sometimes the police, they say we have to call the EMA. The EMA saying that we have to call the police, and it's a kind of cat and mouse game with that. And that is very, very overbearing. I'm not talking on behalf of myself alone. This is a nuisance behavior. It's a national public health crisis. It is affecting me and thousands of residents in my community and the whole country. Also, recently I see it have an organization. They form themselves as noise pollution.
Half minute again, sir.
Yes. And the other issue I'm getting at, we having a serious issue. It started from in 2015 when the last administration came. I personally write multiple letters to the last government about the boundary issues we are having in Greenville, and it just fall on deaf ears, right? And we would like that issue to correct. The last point I get in here I had an injury at my workplace. I'm an employee in PTSC, and in 2017 I was injured, and I cannot go back to work. However, I had applied to the NIB for my injury benefit. This is not the NIB money, this is my money.
So let me suggest you give the young ladies there that information, and we'll take it and try to address it.
All right? Yes,
Thank you.
A pleasant good night, Honorable
Just before you
Minister.
start, let me just say that Mr. Nero would be the last presenter.
A pleasant good night, Honorable Minister, Mr. Chairman, and members of the community. The topic is the Pre-Budget Consultation 2025, and I address culture and a possible way forward for Trinidad and Tobago through cultural tourism. As a performing arts graduate of UTT, it was during a session for cultural entrepreneurship, a core study for graduates to understand how to build business through culture and performance. The question of creating and establishing a new industry was asked, and I was asked to do a SWOT. In my analysis, one of the major issues that was identified was the inadequate investment by the government of Trinidad and Tobago into the non-carnival local sector to create a new sustainable year-round industry. For steady fiscal remuneration from foreign currency injection through marine tourism, also known as the cruise ship industry. The Caribbean Creative Industry Business Summit, it was noted that creatives would continue to beg for money and for support from the government, and because they don't have the know-how or support to access the grants available from the government and funding for various and basic necessities. So then, how can they create industries? So this model that I introduced, which was my thesis from UTT, for creating a possible industry that involves taking local creative artists, polishing them, and also sourcing local...
you have just about half a minute again, eh?
Sorry?
You have about half a minute again.
I know, okay. So the model I suggest is that the government invest in the community by allowing persons through a team to come in the community through community centers, invite stakeholders in the community to meet with them, help give them grants for funding, then polish them so that they can be part of a marine tourist industry. I also identified places in Port of Spain that are underutilized, that are within the cruise ship industry area, that we can use and circulate this and create performance.
Can I invite you to submit a copy of your proposal?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. My name is Gloria. I am from the East, and I would like to propose a few points tonight. Firstly, the care and welfare of animals. Right? I think that there should be a special unit set up at police stations trained to handle these issues alone. All cases of abuse should have a professional animal handler attached to the TTPS on call when going to rescue abused animals. I also think that there should be a fine imposed for owners, right, whose animals, especially dogs and cats that don't have a proper color with proper name tags and the owner's contact number on it.
Also, I think that the government could increase technical schools. More vocational schools should be constructed. There should be a reformation on the OJT program. I think that instead of allotting 2 years to youths, I think that 6 months should be allotted to CXC, persons with CXC, a year with a degree and a year with a master's. I'm looking at it's going to be
30 seconds. Sorry.
motivating individuals to further their education, right? The social welfare assistance, I think that the process is a little too lengthy. I think that persons with disabilities and pensioners and worst case scenarios should be provided with food cards after the assessment, and I think that it should have one assessment done, and based on that assessment, I think a social worker could assess the needs of the individual rather than separate visits to the household to find out exactly what it is they need.
I want to thank you, but hear what? If you could send your ideas and thoughts to Tunapuna at ttparliament.org, we could collate all that you have and present it. So it's Tunapuna at ttparliament.org.
Good night. First and foremost, I must say thanks to the Almighty for having us assembled in this presence. Then again, good night to Mr. Roger Alexander. I was so proud, and we made that happen under we fed up on this and bring that. All right?
Just remember, we have 2.5 minutes.
Backed by Mr. Prakash. You understand? Everybody been talking about we need this and we want that. And we're looking forward to this and we would like to get that. But when they only realize it as of from the last 5 months. 10 years ago, they didn't see it, you know. It's only now they're seeing all of us. That's what they're seeing, all of us. Because why? When UNC win, everybody win. I didn't hear you earlier. When UNC win, everybody win. And then they touch on crime. Which part crime falls short? Where? Crime it falls short in every household in Trinidad and Tobago, Europe, Guatemala, and you name the countries. Crime fell short in the households. And as of to go forward, how could we go forward? Is as of from home. Roger Alexander, teach you it. And what is? Beyond the tape. If it don't start at home, we wouldn't get it going outside. Roger Alexander, he told you that. You understand? And as a belief, I will tell you, as normal, if by chance you don't take care of yours, you can't get mines. Right? And after all of that, it becomes a calm. And the calm is the starting of Camilla. Ain't all you vote Camilla? Okay. The calm is the starting of Camilla. Camilla Posad Bisasa. That is our leader. That is our leader. And if by chance we want her to go forward, is we have to go forward. Look forward here, you know. The beginning, look at here. And then we're going together in this. How could we go with I falling down and you passing me? Stop. Slow down. You all right?
Sir,
yes. Why you all right? Because I could go forward. And why? You understand? It is about us. US, not US dollars. us, right? And as I will close, and I will close proudly saying, we are now going forward with the right leadership.
Thank you very much.
We are now going forward with the right leadership, and not just this 5 years. We're going again next 5 years, and the next 5 years, and we're going to beat
Thank you very
last
much.
man that last 25 years. UNC,
Thank you very
all
much,
the
sir.
way. The sun must shine.
Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, Sitaram. Good evening, everyone. My MP and Mr. Chairman, all protocols are served. I can say hello to Prakash and Brian and my good friend Jagal. My 2 points, I condense my points into, convert my points into 2 main ones. The first one is that we need, with no money, we need to get all the people who could volunteer in this society to start making a contribution. And there are plenty of people who will do that. Mr. Jailal will tell you that I have been a volunteer since 1991, but that is besides the point. We need volunteers in the area of at all levels. National planning, agriculture, counseling, and the works. As one of our previous speakers came and she said something, Nadina, if the Greeks could do it, Trinbagonians could do it. So my second point, because Mr. Rai watching me, is that we have a budget in September. Okay, you call Tunapuna in July, right? I would like to see that Mr. Alexander will call his activists one day and we will give him some ideas. We'll give him some ideas if we could win again and he could have a second term. All right? No bad mind intended or anything. I'm just saying, Mr. Alexander, we love you, but we want to see more of you. We have to look at the TV too much to see you.
2 seconds.
All right, so that is the last point. The activists put us here, and we must respect that. Thank you very much. You all have been a good audience, not him. 2.5 minutes before 9 months.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasant good night, everyone. My name is Anika Williams. I'm from Balthazar Street in Tunapuna. So a few of my concerns. A few of my concerns is employment for the youths. If we can lower the heights and education for young men, because not everyone went to school and had 5 or 6 classes where they could join the service, right? We can implement also sensitivity training where they would be able to communicate better with the community, right? And also, I can remember we had a program where people who no trade was able to be certified in what they were doing. So you have that certificate trained, well, you are a master of what you're doing. So if we could implement that again. Oh, also retraining for people who are between the ages of 40 to 55. And I think that's it. Yeah, retraining for people and implementing RI in all schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Right, good night to everyone. Good night to the minister. I just have a brief contribution to make. We would all like to see a reduction in crime, and I just have 1 or 2 ideas which the minister could consider to implement in the next budget. Right? So the first is to develop a comprehensive national intelligence apparatus, right? Imagine this. You're going out for a night out in Trinidad and Tobago, you and your girlfriend, a new part of town, but you would like to see what sort of threats you may encounter on that journey. You could log in online onto a government website and utilize a GIS application that has statistical information of all the offenses that took place in that zone and what sort of recent threats occurred and what is the probability of you encountering such a threat, right? 2 is to develop a comprehensive data analytics instrument which would guide such an online application, right? And how would you gather data for this data analytics application, right? You would hopefully utilize data already implemented in police reports and recorded in the various police divisions, and you would utilize surveillance, right? So you will gather this data and you will have operation centers, hopefully within each constituency or within each parish, that logs all this data and processes it and hopefully links to a national operations center where these threats can be assessed in vivo, right? One last example pertaining to the woman who was kidnapped in Spring Village, Valsayn, a couple days ago. You could also utilize drone technology, which are autonomous and has thermal infrared vision, to scan the forested areas instead of relying on the hunter search and rescue team to see where pockets of, people or criminals may hide out, yeah? So the idea is to use intelligence augmented with technology. And this doesn't necessarily have to come from the police service. Civilians can also be utilized to implement this sort of solution as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Nora.
Pleasant good evening. My name is Videsh Ramnath. I am from Philip Trace, Tunapuna. A little bit about me quickly. I am a UN Peace Ambassador, and I am under the Organization of Human Rights Defense, which is under the United Nations. I'm an inspector appointed really for Trinidad. Quickly, sorry for the cutting of the time. Honorable Head Table, thank you for having me. Honorable Minister, regularizing the lands in Tunapuna for the squatters.
Speak into the mic, please.
Regularizing the lands in Tunapuna for the squatters, specifically. What is the real purpose of the Bureau of Standards? Or the Bureau of Standards? What is the real purpose of it, and who's actually holding the economic growth with reference to the increase in food prices? It's not governed or it's not regularized concerning the increase in prices and your salary. We need to actually hold people accountable for that. Or government should actually look into that to help the poor persons. When is there going to be accountability in the failure of persons within the government? You hear white-collar crimes and everything else, and people are just actually suing the positions, but not the persons.
You have 30 seconds.
The healthcare and the efficiency of it, implementation of the lie detectors in the police service, because there is no guard holding, actually guarding the guards. In the US, there is the CIA who is actually governing or policing the FBI, and the FBI looking after all the rest of them. We need to actually have some sort of policing body to look over the polices here. Thank you so much.
But please, give them their ideas so that they can take it on.
Evening. Good evening, Honorable Minister, Councillor, former Minister, Mark Danulal, Kirep. 3 very brief points. One is an appeal for some robust IT infrastructure, especially in the aftermath of meeting the Indian Prime Minister.
Speak into the
right?
mic.
Okay. Especially in the aftermath of meeting the Indian Prime Minister, because if we are to implement some of the digital currency measures that they want to implement, we have to have the proper infrastructure around it, and also to counteract all of the various cyber crimes that would be taking place concerning digital currency as well. Second point, a suggestion to put forward an initiative to partner with NGOs to implement coral gardening in Tobago, which would also simultaneously boost the tourism and the fishery sector. And the third part is if the government could consider something called a digital nomad passport for people desirous of working in the country for a period of 1 to 3 years, probably maybe 200 to 250 US. That brings in a lot of forex into the country as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So Mr. Nero will be the last presenter.
Good night, everybody. Good night. I was late today doing your duty. I was in a camp with youths with Jaffa cricket.
Please state your name for the record, Mr. Nero.
With youths doing a training program in Maracas, and that is what makes me late. I am Peter Nero, the Shadow Councillor of Maracas, Santa Margarita. I am proud to be here today to give blessing from Santa Margarita to Tunapuna, because we in Santa Margarita strongly believe that we really hold the key to this win that we have in Tunapuna. Mr. Honorable Alexander, the Chairman, Prakash Bharat, and all my friends in front here. Everybody I see here is great friends. My contribution today, I wouldn't read from nothing today because the time is short. I believe that we always talk about diversifying. We have the Maracas waterfall. We have the Cora River. The Cora River this time, they need washrooms. They need huts. They need trails. Maracas waterfall, we have a program building that we will bring soon to the minister, that we could create employment. For instance, I've been in Bahamas recently, and they create the Atlantis, which is a man-made thing, and they just utilize the other stuff that they have. We can create a lot of things. It's have a lot of countries in the Caribbean here that survive from tourism. So we have to look into that, and we can make it work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I know that there are a couple other people who want to speak, but let me invite you to give to our scribes your ideas so we could capture what you would like to say. Or, as I said, you could email it to tunapuna@ttparliament.org. Thank you very much. My duty here is done. I invite Mr. Prakash Ramana back to the podium, and then Prakash Bharat, sorry.
That's okay, that's okay. Okay, guys, as chairman of the Tunapuna Constituency Executive, let me really honestly thank every single one of you who made valuable contributions. It has been noted, and I just want to say, if you can leave anything with our note takers, that's fine, or you can leave whatever you have, go down to our office. Our new office, as you know, is at the corner of Green and El Dorado Road, and you can leave any document you want that can be included in the 2025-26 budget. Let me make some house announcements. We didn't forget you. We had water. I know you all were so absorbed, so you didn't drink no water. But there's doubles on the outside, so when you leave, you can have a double as you leave, and that will kind of keep you up for the night. And one other announcement. Stand Your Ground consultation will be held next week, Wednesday, 23rd, at 6 p.m. at the Minister's office, our MP's office, corner Green and El Dorado Road. Please come out in your numbers. Yeah, okay. Announce. Yeah. So we would like you to please come, prepare your contributions. Remember about the matic. We're not taking that. need stand the ground legislation to enable all of us to be safe and to keep our family safe. As you know, our Prime Minister and leader of the United National Congress, it's one of our vision to ensure that this legislation is passed and ensure that you can be equipped for your safety. In the house tonight is one of my good friends, a longtime partner within the United National Congress and new Vice Chairman of the NCC. Give Kevin Gibbs a round of applause, please. Master Kevin Gibbs. Hard-working gentleman, really hard-working gentleman. And so, I turn you now for a couple minutes, back to the MP, and then we'll close off vote of thanks with Lisha Duri.
Good night again. Yeah, good night again. And let me, I will tend to just mention a couple things since we're here. With respect to the Cora situation, I made a promise on the campaign to have Cora addressed in a particular way, especially where, as the person who spoke said, that a large number of persons come to Cora day after day after day. But to what benefit does Cora benefit from all of this? Absolutely nothing. The infrastructure we have planned for Cora might surprise you. All right? It's something that I promised on the campaign trail, and we intend to keep it with respect to Cora. Also, you know, recommendations are made all over this country for places that seem to have an issue with the lighting system. And technology has brought us where solar lights are possible. And you see it sometimes in areas all going up to Manzanilla and all these places. So I cannot see it being a major issue anymore, because these things can be supplied. Just like the idea of getting a supplier and the right persons to place it on the poles, and we go forward from there. There's a number of areas where that was mentioned in terms of schooling for young persons and training and culture and all of these things, and nothing that you would have mentioned here today seems to be far-fetched. There's nothing that you mentioned today seems to be impossible to achieve. It's just bringing the ideas forward and moving with it. I hear one of my, a gentleman came and talked about drones and all of these things for the police service, so that the search and rescue and all of that. This is not new, sir, to the police. It's just buying the right one is what we need. I don't want to frighten anybody here. Huh? Oh. I don't want to frighten anybody here. But the reality is that on my arrival at the ministry, I was shocked. And I remain that way still. Haven't seen what the last regime thought of your safety and security in Trinidad and Tobago. That's all I can say at this time. If that is what they viewed as having an impact on your safety and security, then there's a need to be afraid. When you see the amount of nothing that was placed there, and now we have to find ways to fix it. It's a costly thing. It involves resources, and no resources can be purchased today for today like that. It takes procurement and all these things. What I can do immediately is what I can do. I spoke to this before. Trinidad and Tobago, the police service has been left to dry. The police service have not seen, or nobody saw it fit to look at the manpower resources, the sanction strength for the police service to better serve the community. And they were operating with the same sanction strength just after independence. So now we have to restructure that whole thing. How could there be increase in population, persons entering this country illegally, persons deported back to this country, and all of these things, persons asking for residency, and no one saw it fit to match in some way the population or the police to serve the population. Nobody says that it have to be one man per police, but it should be in a situation where it could be seen or the impression given that it could be managed properly, and it was not. So now we have to redesign that whole thing. Have you ever went into your home, when you get a new home, an AGC give you a new home and you walk inside and there's no cupboards and there's no toilet and they forget to put the curtains for the shower and all of that? That still might look pleasant to what I would have found there, because there are no windows in the police service. So you have a home without doors and windows and sometimes without roof. How secure that could be? And if they cannot secure the police, who is given the authority to secure you? Then how the police could really secure you? Constituents, we need to look forward. We need to look forward to somewhat of a brighter tomorrow, but how do we do that today? You need to play your part. Today I received some documents from the range owners and persons who sell firearms in this country. Because in our mandate we spoke about giving persons an opportunity to defend themselves. And we intend to stick to that. That is why next week we'll have the legislation with respect to home invasions and how we go forward in terms of protecting our citizens in a lawful manner. So, home invasion and stand your ground laws, we intend to take it to Parliament sometime before the end of August that is. Take it to Cabinet and then to Parliament. So now we are having consultation, a broad consultation with all stakeholders, so we could come up with the right fit for the law so that every citizen could benefit. Constituents of Tunapuna, the time has come now more than ever for us to band together and fight this scourge called crime. The gossip wouldn't help. The rara wouldn't help. It will take ideas from every citizen sitting here and every citizen at home to ensure that every citizen enjoys the comfort of their home and a better quality of life. Having said that, I want to thank each of you all for coming out tonight. And let's go forward giving it our best shot. I know persons are still, this is not the forum, but they're asking about employment and CPEP and all of these things. All these things will eventually come out. We are having some legal issues that we are dealing with because the government of the past seem to have a problem speaking the truth. So when it is over and it's all said and done, everyone who needs to be employed will be. No one will be left behind. For the persons with the surgery, we were given a promise by an institution that they intend to do 20 free cataract surgery for citizens in the Tunapuna area. All right, so again, it's about persons coming out and helping situations at this time. All they need from you is you understanding your role as a citizen in the protection of yourself. What does that mean? Persons probably walking the streets and looking for an opportunity. Make yourself a hard target until we give you an opportunity to defend yourself in the only way you know how. And as Mr. Ramada is here, by any lawful means necessary. If he wasn't here, I would have said something else, I guess. But, but he's here, so by any lawful means necessary. All right? So I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday down at the office. And again, bring your ideas. What is the best way we could go forward with the stand your ground legislation and the home invasion legislation? Yeah? And for those who are asking about firearms, your application will be treated with, and if it is that you would have qualified, you will be given the opportunity to own a firearm. What you do with it thereafter would be your responsibility. But if you're a responsible person, then you will address it accordingly. All right? Again, thank you very much. And I see you all on. Huh? You did? Now it's Wednesday, man. What are you hearing, man? Wednesday. Wednesday is the day for the stand your ground legislation and the home invasion discussion. All right? 6 o'clock as usual. We'll try not to go too late, but again, let's come with ideas, because Tunapuna people, you are brilliant people, you have ideas, come with it. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you again, Minister. Please hold on. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Kerry Sumisarai, and my task tonight is over, so I want to call to the podium Ms. Lisha Dory to bring the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. And I know it's a long night, but we absolutely cannot leave here until we have expressed gratitude to all of those who played a part in making tonight a success. So just bear with me just for a few minutes. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible. I want to say good night to the UNC Tunapuna, sorry, not just the UNC, but the Tunapuna family, and not just the Tunapuna family. We also had residents with us here tonight from Aruka Lopino, from Arima, from St. Joseph. So I want to thank all of you all for coming out here tonight, and I want to say to you that Tunapuna is home. When you come into Tunapuna, we want to make you feel like you are at home, and we are all one big family. I also want to say, when we planned this session, we were catering for 10, maybe 12 people to come up to the mic and give a contribution. We had in excess of 3 times that amount. And still, there were people who did not get the opportunity to speak on the mic, but we will be taking your contribution. And that to me is a sign for certain that this was a resounding success. And I want all of you who are here to give yourselves a round of applause for that. It is my privilege and honor to extend sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to making tonight a success. And first and foremost, we must express our profound appreciation to the Prime Minister and political leader of our great party, the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar Senior Counsel, for her unwavering commitment to open consultation, to foresight, and to the principle of inclusive leadership. And that has been the driving force behind this consultation tonight. I want you to put your hands again together and give the political leader, the Prime Minister, a warm round of applause as she continues to steer Trinidad and Tobago back to a path of progress, productivity, and prosperity. She doesn't have an easy job, ladies and gentlemen. We know that. But we know that she is very determined and very capable, and I will say the best leader that this country has ever seen. We also wish to extend our deepest thanks to the Honorable Roger Alexander, Member of Parliament for Tunapuna and Minister of Homeland Security, for so graciously taking the time to host this consultation and listen very attentively to the concerns and recommendations of everyone here tonight. I cannot just say his constituents, because tonight we had more than just his constituents here. We had people from all over Trinidad and Tobago. The Tunapuna constituency, which not too long ago was neglected and dormant, has come alive once more under the astute leadership of the Honorable Roger Alexander. And in the space of just 2.5 months, MP Alexander and his team has hosted several community building activities. If you follow us, our Facebook page and social media, UNC Tunapuna, many of you here would have been present. We invite the public to all of our events. All right, yes, I know I'm getting the hint to go ahead and wrap up, but okay. So, please join me in putting your hands together and giving a hearty round of applause again to the Member of Parliament and Minister of Homeland Security, the Honorable Roger Alexander. Our gratitude is also due to the extremely dedicated chairman of the Tunapuna Constituency Executive and Councillor for Cora Paradise Tacarigua, Prakash Bharat, as well as the entire Tunapuna Constituency Executive for their diligence in planning, organizing, and facilitating this evening's proceedings. We also acknowledge with sincere thanks the able stewardship of the Master of Ceremonies, Dr. Kerry Wright. We are very grateful to Ms. Charlotte Alexander, Assistant to the Honorable Roger Alexander, for her invaluable support and guidance. We extend our sincere thanks to our diligent note-takers, registration team, ushers, those responsible for the decor, and all who will assist with the cleanup after. We wish to acknowledge Mr. Kivan Gibbs and his team, Mr. Vishnu Balrup and Balrup Sound Systems for their technical expertise and for ensuring our proceedings were clear, audible, and accessible to the widest possible audience. We are also very appreciative of the members of the media who are here with us tonight and who continue to play a vital role in keeping the public informed. A heartfelt thanks to our sponsors for their generous financial support and commitment to community development. And to our speakers this evening, we are deeply grateful for your courage and dedication in stepping forward to make the insightful contributions you have made to this important national discussion tonight. To you, the members of the audience here at Hillview College, and those who have joined us virtually, we were live on the UNC YouTube channel. We are very grateful for your presence, engagement, commitment to good governance, and the progress of our country. Many contributions made tonight help to build a national budget that truly reflects the needs and aspirations of not just the people of Tunapuna, but of Trinidad and Tobago as a whole. So please stay connected to us for further details on our upcoming Stand Your Ground legislation and also our Emancipation Day celebrations, which are carded for the 1st of August. We will put all of our information on social media, and also please feel free to visit the constituency office, which is at the corner of Green Street and El Dorado Road, for further information. So I invite you to remain with us tonight and enjoy some light refreshments. And following this, I wish each of you a safe journey home. Thank you and good night.